हरि ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Bhagavad Gita, a conversation with God daily. In this series, today, shloka number 34. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninah tattvadarshinaha. A very happy Navaratri to all of you. Navaratri Punya Kalam has started and we have a shloka explaining the greatness of the Guru. Actually, last shloka we saw everything finally ends with jnana, and jnana yajna is superior to all other yajnas. Okay, jnana is superior to everything, but how are we to attain that wisdom? How are we going to attain that jnana? For that, the next shloka, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. Wisdom can be attained by approaching a guru. Tadvidhi. Know that wisdom, attain that wisdom by pranipatena, falling down at the feet of a guru, offering your utmost respects to a guru, and pariprasnena, asking him questions. What is it that you should ask him? Adi Shankara in his commentary says, ask him, how is it that we are bound to this samsara, and how can we be liberated from this? What is wisdom? What is ignorance? These questions you should ask the Guru. We should get that question right. Why is it that we are bound to this samsara? A living being, actually, even during pralaya, when the whole world goes and attains Laya in the Brahman. All living beings. Ulagam unda peruvaya. Everything goes into him. Even during that pralaya, the living being gets Laya in the Brahman only with his ignorance. He is not actually enlightened. And during the next Srishti also, he is again created with all his karmas. What all karma we have done, everything. There is a register there, a very big one. So, when we come back again, we come back with all our previous karmas. Not even one is lost. So, why I am saying this is, so powerful is that ignorance, that bondage. We are not able to break it. Even during Pralaya or Srishti, how many years, millions of years, we have been born, dead, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jatare, Shayanam. Birth, death, this cycle has been going on since millions of years. So many births we have taken, so many different types of births we have taken. Lakh chaurasi phere phirkar sundara naratanu paya. Lakh chaurasi, 84 lakhs of various types of living beings are there. Don't know how many types we have already taken. So strong, this samsara. Why am I bound like this here? Can I not get freed from this? You can be liberated only if you attain wisdom, they say. What is that jnana? And what is ajnana? Oh Gurudeva, please instruct me on this. This question we should go ask the Guru. We should not go ask him some materialistic desire or going and telling him some problem. My son, he has to get a good job, Swami. I am suffering from this disease, please cure that. We generally think, I have totally surrendered to my Guru. But whenever we go there, something or the other like this, we go ask him or we have it in our mind. But here, Adi Shankara in his commentary says, ask him for wisdom. Pariprashnena. Sevaya. The next is, you have to serve the Guru. If you keep serving him, then he blesses you with that wisdom. You need not even learn anything from him. You need not even ask him something. Just be around him, be near him. Whenever something is necessary, do for him. Small things, little services. Do it with love, with respect. Sevaya. In Adi Shankara's life, there is a beautiful incident. Adi Shankara, one day, he is sitting like this and he is going to begin his lecture. And the disciples have all assembled, but he is not beginning the lecture. he's just waiting for someone. All are just thinking, why is Gurunatha not beginning the lecture? For whom is he waiting? And then Adi Shankara asks for one of his disciples, Totakacharya, one of the most important disciples of Adi Shankara. Where is he? Then one of them replies, he's doing some work inside Gurunatha. Actually, Totakacharya is washing Adi Shankara's clothes. And somehow it got a bit late today. Oh, Gurunatha, you are waiting for Totakacharya. The disciples, all the other disciples, they just smile at each other. A few laugh. Because Totakacharya generally is not very intelligent. He doesn't understand the Shastras. He doesn't understand these things. He generally serves Adi Shankara and does all his works. He finds happiness in that. He comes, he listens to all the lectures, but he is unable to grasp the things that are said. So now these disciples, they feel, what is this? What difference does it make whether he comes or does not come? He is not going to understand anything anyway. Adi Shankara just looks at them, and at that time Totakacharya comes running because it has become late. It's already late, he comes running. He comes to the Sannidhi of Adi Shankara and immediately he starts singing. Vidhita khila shastra sudha jalade mahitopanishad kathitartha nidhe hridaye kalaye vimalam charanam bhava shankara deshika me sharanam. The Totakashtakam, it just flows out of him. Beautiful verses praising Adi Shankara. Totaka is a meter, a very difficult one. And now, this person who just was so dull-headed, he is now composing verses in one of the most difficult meters. How is it possible? All are amazed. And from that day, he got the name Totakacharya. So just in one instant, Adi Shankara felt so much compassion for his disciple who has been serving him so long. But now everybody is making fun of him. And just that one instant, by the Gurunatha's grace, that disciple becomes capable of composing his own verses. So, sevaya, service to the Guru. Upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. That Guru instructs you. What type of Guru? Jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. He should have a knowledge of that first of all. He should be very knowledgeable. But that alone is not enough. Tattva darshinaha. He must have that knowledge in his experience. He should have experienced it first hand. He himself should be a jnani. Then only he will be able to give you that wisdom. That ultimate wisdom which has been explained in the previous shlokas, that can be imparted to a disciple only by a actual jnani. There are so many types of gurus. That too, in today's world, there are more gurus than disciples, I think. So, there are many, and some teach meditation, some sing bhajans beautifully, some have lakhs of followers, someone cures all types of diseases. You just go to him, any disease gets cured. And some other guru, he is very well versed in all scriptures. He is so intelligent, he is such a great scholar. But none of this is sufficient. It's not enough. Any of this is not enough. One actually should have experienced that jnanam himself. He should be a jnani himself. You should attain such a guru, and that guru will give you that wisdom. The next shloka. Yanyatva na punarmoham evam yasyasi pandava yena bhutanyaseshena drakshyasi atmanyatho mayi. Yanyatva na punarmoham evam yasyasi pandava. Arjuna, if you attain that wisdom, then you will never be confused like this. On attaining that wisdom, bhutani aseshena drakshyasi atmani atho mayi. You will see all living beings in yourself, and you will see all living beings in me, Vasudeva, Krishna, the Supreme God. So, there will be no difference between you and me, no difference between the living being and God. Jivatma and Paramatma, no difference. That stage you will reach. The living being who always feels, oh, I wanted to do this, but I couldn't do it. We don't even know what is going to happen tomorrow. We always are frightened of death. Oh, what will happen? What will happen? What will happen? So, that living being actually becomes in no way different from that God who knows everything, who is eternal, no death at all, who can do anything, he can accomplish anything. Sarvajnaha, Sarvashaktaha, Nityaha. Just think, what sort of a pathetic condition we are now, and what we are all actually. What is our real capability? What is our real Swarupa? That oneness, should we not strive to attain that? That state, Aham Brahmasmi, that state you will attain. Arjuna, you will make that if you attain that wisdom. Api chedasi papebhyah sarvebhyah papakrittamaha sarvam jnanaplavenaiva vrijinam santarishyasi. Api chedasi papebhyah. Again, he continues about the greatness of that wisdom. If at all you are papebhyaha sarvebhyaha papakrittamaha, you are the greatest among all sinners. If you take a list of sinners, then you will top the list. Such a great sinner you are. Still, Sarvam Jnana Plavene, by that boat of wisdom. Through that wisdom, once you attain that wisdom, once you become that Brahman, there is nothing to attain. It is there in you. It has to just shine. We have veiled it with so many other things. So much dirt and clutter, full piled up over that wisdom. Just remove everything. It will automatically shine. Once that shines, then all sins, whatever it be, ocean of sins, can be crossed by that boat of wisdom. So great is wisdom. And the commentary says here, by Vrijinam, not only sins are intended, but here dharma also is included in Vrijinam, because for a mumukshu, one who wants liberation, both dharma and adharma, both punya and papa, they are undesirable for him to attain liberation. So here dharma is also included. Next shloka. Yathai samidhognir bhasmasat kuruterjuna jnanagnis sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. When fuel is put into very well burning fire, then that fuel is completely burnt to ashes. Similarly, all karmas are burnt by the fire of wisdom. Here, sarva karmani, all karmas means all karmas other than prarabdha karma. The karmas that have already started giving results. The karmas that we brought with us during this birth, they have already started giving results, like a released arrow. The arrow has already been released, so now it cannot be stopped. That prarabdha karma alone remains. All other karmas, whatever you have done in all your previous births, and whatever karmas you are going to do even after attaining wisdom, everything just gets burnt to ashes. Nothing remains thereafter. So only even a jnani, after attaining wisdom, still they live on this earth. It's our fortune, right? They still live because prarabdha karma alone, it remains. It is said, Bhidyate hridaya grantihi chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. So, all karmas, they are just destroyed once you attain wisdom, jnana. We'll stop with this for today. Let our Gurunatha bless us with that wisdom. Hari Om.